So, what were some of your inspirations for the film?
Our biggest inspiration was all of the brick films and homemade things that Lego fans make on their own, online and at home. We wanted the movie to feel like it kind of had a grassroots origin, and so we just loved poring over all the crazy little films people were making. And we thought if we could make a big version of that, we will have won.
Do that. Tell us a little about the visuals and the look you wanted to have and why you went with the photo reel.
Well, yeah, we had this idea that we wanted everything to look photoreal and like it was a Lego set that came to life, and we wanted everything in the movie to be made out of Lego bricks, including the water and fire and clouds, and people looked at us like we were crazy. Like, how could you even do that? But we really believed in it, and luckily everybody came on board eventually. But it was a lot of work. The movie was a lot of CG, some stop motion, some actual Lego bricks mixed in there. We didn't want anyone to know what was what. It was a real hybrid. And a lot of the research went into figuring out how to make it look imperfect, like it had smudges and thumbprints and scratches and dust and dandruff and all that type of stuff. And then the movement had to feel as limited as it would be if you were making it yourself in a basement. And then of course all the research as to how to make an ocean out of Lego is something you've never seen before.
Now, the production took 3 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give us a basic breakdown of how that was and what kept you inspired for all of that time?
Fear kept us inspired much of the time. The way you make an animated movie is, you write it, and then you start putting it up on storyboards, and you start editing it, and then you start to realize that what you wrote is terrible. So you start over, and then you come up with a whole new story, and then that's terrible, and you slowly, through many, many terrible versions, you start to get enough material to string together a final movie. So the inspiration just comes from the collaboration with other people. That when you run out of ideas, there's this guy, and when he runs out of ideas, there's a bunch of other people, and we all kind of get together and inspire one another.
And it was an international production, and so we had the animation studio was in Australia, this company Animal Logic. We had a co-director, Chris McKay, who moved down there to oversee the animation, and there was a lot of video conferencing. And then we also had the help of the Lego group in Denmark, who were helping us with designs, and if we got stuck on something, we would send it over to them, say, we can't figure out how to make this metal beard guy move around and work right, and they're like, leave it to us, we're experts at this, and they would work on it. And then it was a back and forth between Los Angeles, Australia, and Denmark, and so it was it was a lot of video conferencing.
Wow. Now, were you Lego fans growing up?
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you can tell. I know that it's hard to believe that these Adonis bodies would have spent any time
Indoors.
We were very busy being the quarterbacks of our respective football teams. However, we still found the time to go into our bedrooms by ourselves and play with toys.
We were big Lego fans as kids, and we were both really into classic space from the 70s and 80s. Those were the sets that we had a lot of, and in a big old bin making crazy spaceships and things. And so we tried to put that in the movie. There's a character, Benny, the 1980-something space guy, who's really just straight out of our childhoods.
That's great. Now, what are some of the ways that you sought to engage adults into the audience for this film?
We wanted to tell a real story, and we felt like that was the only way this thing was going to hang together. We wanted to make a movie that felt like an 8-year-old made it up. But we thought you would get really sleepy if the story didn't really grab you. So that was the main focus.
And then our humor, we approached the same way for doing a family movie or an R-rated comedy, just one doesn't have swear words in it. We really just try to make each other laugh, and luckily our sense of humor is juvenile enough that it also makes kids laugh too.
Now, what are the bigger themes of the story of the film?
Well, the movie is about Emmett, who is a very average, generic construction worker who's just like everybody else. And then he gets tapped and mistaken for the chosen one, the most special person in the universe, the savior of the world. And we thought it was really interesting to tell a hero's journey story like that. But instead of it being Neo, who has all of these powers that are just about to be unlocked, it's a guy who is not special at all. And just the mere fact that he's told that he is the thing that activates something that we hope is in everybody, you know, a creative ability that just needs a little bit of encouragement.
We hope the movie inspires people to get back in touch with their creative side and go out and build and make things and innovate.
Fantastic. What do you think is the appeal of Lego generation after generation?
Well, it's made of plastic, and plastic lasts a really long time. So that doesn't hurt. It's incredibly well made. So, you know, if you take a brick, you know, from the 60s, you can fit it with a brick from 2014. And it's really flexible. And so it's able to change with the times, and you can turn it into what you want. And, you know, there's you know, like a Lego city that, or a Lego castle themes that are from the Middle Ages, and there's like Lego Prince of Persia, and there's like things that are more contemporary.
And if you have a big old bin of bricks, you can make whatever you want out of it. If someone wants to make a house and another person wants to make a dinosaur, then they can have a dinosaur attacking a house, and it can be whatever you make of it, and that'll never go out of style.
Yeah.